Coverage you can count on. KOMU 8 News on Mid-Missouri CW starts now.
Here's what's happening right now. A power outage in Columbia has left more than 1,000 folks in the dark. Columbia Water and Light tweeted that crews are working to restore power. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jim Reek.
And I'm Amber Robb. Thanks for joining us. Some power is being restored in a few areas, but many are left without it. KOMU 8's Elena Chappie is live in Columbia with more details.
I'm live in a neighborhood off of Forum Boulevard, and it seems like the lights have just actually turned back on. But, you know, about 10 minutes ago, the street was pitch black. And around 6 o'clock, Columbia Water and Light tweeted that 1,300 people are without power. They said the power outages were due to high winds. I spoke with many people who told me they aren't too concerned with the outage, but really just are wondering when it will come back on.
And it just started flickering, and I was just like, okay, you know. But I mean, sometimes this happens and it just flickers and, you know, it comes back on. But nope, it stayed off for a while, and so I had him check the breakers and came.
Like I said, this neighborhood, the lights are turning back on. Like I said, in this neighborhood, some lights have turned back on, but other lights are probably not on in other neighborhoods. Live in Columbia, Elena Chappie, KOMU 8 News.
We were quite breezy as we went throughout the day, especially since we're on the backside of a system that moved through Wednesday into Thursday night. That rain event that we saw, that's moving out to our east really slowly, but it is bringing us some pretty gusty winds, 30-mile-an-hour sustained winds around 5 o'clock, and that's what's been causing so much problems for people in the area. But I do have some good news. Currently, our winds are coming out of the north at 9 miles an hour. They are dying down as we're going into the evening hours. But as we go through tomorrow, this is Saturday afternoon, our winds are going to shift to be out of the west. That's going to bring us some warmer temperatures, and then to be out of the south as we go into Saturday night, making Easter feel almost like summer. It's going to feel really, really nice for Easter, but we will be in the 70s tomorrow, warming up to the 80s on Sunday. Remind you, we were snowing last Easter, so a big change coming up for this year. I'll track it out next.
Human remains found in a barrel along the Gasconade River were from an adult male. The Gasconade County Sheriff's Office posted an update to its Facebook page this evening. The department is waiting for an official report from the medical examiner. The remains were found in a plastic barrel lodged on a Gasconade River boat ramp last Friday. The department has not released the person's identity or the cause of death. Callaway County's push to build a new jail using state property at the Missouri School for the Deaf met resistance today. County commissioners were eyeing the vacant Rice Hall near the main MSD campus and dorms. Today, members of the deaf community said they were concerned about student safety and whether the proposal would reduce the state school's enrollment.
If any of those inmates might escape, they might do something illegal like killing someone. I mean, that makes our entire campus very nervous and very upset. So we are 100% opposed to building a justice center in Rice Hall.
Presiding Commissioner Gary Youngerman said no decision has been made. He did say Rice Hall was not going to be as cost effective as he originally thought. About 3 weeks ago, Callaway County Commissioner Roger Fisher told KOMU 8 parts of the 30-year-old existing jail have been sinking or cracking for decades and represents a safety concern. He says in addition to the structural damage, overcrowding is also an issue.
MU Chancellor Alexander Cartwright announced the release of the school's 2020 budget today. It will move $25 million from different university departments. That total will be shifted to scholarships, research, and employee performance. The chancellor says it will also help students graduate sooner.
Increasing retention rates for our students, emphasizing student success, increasing graduation rates, ensuring that we're doing everything we can as an institution to minimize the cost of getting an education here.
Chancellor Cartwright says this should increase enrollment, and he and CFO Rhonda Gibler say no layoffs are expected.
If you saw more highway patrol troopers today, there's a reason it's called 420, meaning April 20th. It's the unofficial celebration of cannabis users that's happening this weekend. MoDOT, with the help of troopers, is stepping up efforts to crack down on drug-impaired driving.
If you're impaired driving and are stopped, you are still subject to the same DWI type laws that we have in place.
The patrol urges drivers to find a ride home if they decide to smoke pot this weekend.
A Columbia attorney is asking Governor Parson to get involved in what he calls a cover-up case. Stephen Wise believes Columbia police protected Barry Manti, who had a prostitution and drug dealing business in Columbia. Manti was convicted last month of promoting prostitution online. Wise says Manti was an informant for the police department. He wants the governor to appoint a special prosecutor to this case. Wise had strong words for the governor.
Do you think that our government should be assisting drug-dealing sex traffickers of teenage girls in their operations and protecting them? Or do you think that if they break the law, they should be held accountable? Take a stand, Governor.
Columbia police say they're still reviewing the case, which came to light after investigation by the Columbia Missourian.
A popular St. Louis radio personality is facing sex-related charges. 77-year-old Harry Ham of KMOX Radio is charged with second-degree statutory sodomy and other counts. St. Louis County prosecutors filed the charges today. His bond is $250,000. A KMOX spokesperson says the station recently learned about the, quote, troubling allegations. Ham is on leave during an internal investigation. Jefferson City Police named 4 businesses which recently sold alcohol to an 18-year-old. Police did compliance checks at 16 different businesses. An 18-year-old female acting on behalf of police showed her ID at the counter. Police say 12 businesses turned her away. 4 did not. They include the Break Time on Clark Avenue, plus We Be Smokin', Alcobacco, and Beeline Station, all on Missouri Boulevard.
Older Americans vaccinated for measles might want to check with their doctor. The CDC says anyone in their mid-50s could have missed out on a better version of the shot. Anyone ages 28 through 56 most likely didn't get the second shot or booster that started in 1991. The newer shots offered 90% protection.
So if you're not sure or if you don't have evidence of immunity, get the vaccine. It won't hurt to get it if you've previously had it, and it will help protect you in the event that you are exposed to measles.
Today, the shot and booster duo are 97% effective with the 555 reported cases in the U.S. right now. It might be worth an extra booster just in case.
The Roachport Tunnel on the Katy Trail still closed. The business owner says he's been left in the dark.
Plus, a new grant to help preschoolers learn through song and dance.
And only 63 more days till the official start of summer, but you might not have to wait that long to feel the heat. I'll have your temperatures in my full forecast.
Never be surprised by the weather. Download the free KOMU8 Weather and Traffic app. Brought to you by Central Bank of Boone County.
Family Health Center, primary and preventative health care for the whole family, including dental care.
The providers there are on the cutting edge of the newest things out.
Think of us first when you get sick or if you have a toothache. Also for cleanings and annual checkups.
The collaboration we have allows us to treat their mouth, their mind, and their body.
Including these important services. Family Health Center with 3 convenient Columbia locations. Family Health Center, health and care within reach.
It can haul over 3,200 pounds. It can even tow more than any pickup in its class. And it practically parks itself. Now, after all that hard work, a nice night on the town seems in order, don't you think?
Now get an F-150 at up to 20% below MSRP. That's over $10,500 in total savings. Only at your quality Ford dealers.
Attention! Attention!
Yeah, you're going to want to pay attention to this.
It's the Super Saturday sale at Slumberland.
Get an extra 25% off all unadvertised items, like this bar stool for 25% off.
That's a lot of savings.
Or this chair.
25% off.
Sofas, recliners, mattresses.
25% off this Saturday only.
Never before.
And never again.
Can't say that.
Can't say that.
The Super Saturday sale at Slumberland. An extra 25% off almost everything.
25% off puppies.
Wait, what?
No puppies.
You plan for everything in life, except the only thing that's for certain. Is it time for a frank discussion with your loved ones about final arrangements? It pays to discuss the details and the price when your family's not under stress. At Bach-Yeager Funeral Chapel, we're not big and corporate. You'll deal directly with our owners. Whether it's a traditional service or a simple cremation, count on Bach-Yeager Funeral Chapel in Columbia, Carr Yeager Funeral Home in Fayette, and Marklin Yeager Funeral Home in New Franklin for personalized service with dignity, care, and respect.
If you've been injured and need legal representation, contact the team at Carson & Coyle.
Many firms can get you some type of settlement.
At Carson & Coyle, we're prepared to try every case, and the insurance companies know it.
Our personal injury and workers' compensation attorneys have the experience you need and work hard at getting you the compensation you deserve.
For over 50 years, we have built our reputation here in mid-Missouri, with offices in Jefferson City and Columbia to better serve you. At Carson & Coyle, we are dedicated to protecting your legal rights.
The First Alert Weather Cam is brought to you by the law firm of Harper, Evans, Wade, and Nettemeyer. We will fight for you.
Hey everybody, it's me, comedian Kathleen Madigan. Come see me and Louis Black at the Missouri Theater on May 6th for the Arts for Autism comedy fundraiser presented by MU Healthcare. Get your tickets through Ticketmaster.com.
A portion of the Katy Trail at Rocheport has been closed all week. Businesses, bike riders, and residents are wondering why it's taking so long. KOMU8's Isaac Janes is live in Rocheport with this update.
Missouri State Parks told me today that this part of the trail is going to be closed until mid-May. The tunnel is closed so crews can remove trees and rocks. State Parks doesn't want that debris falling on trail users. Missouri State Parks says it posted information on their website, but some nearby business owners say they'd like to know more about what crews are doing.
It appears they've cut down 50 or 100 trees off the top of the bluff above the Katy Trail tunnel. And you know, that tunnel is part of our family, and so we just like to keep an eye on what's going on over there and make sure that we're in the loop.
The detour around the closed tunnel takes trailgoers on Highway 40, that's between New Franklin and Rocheport. I even talked to one bicyclist today who told me she took a shuttle. She wanted to avoid the road's small shoulders. Live in Rocheport, Isaac Janes, KOMU8 News.
After the Mueller report was released, some are left wondering what was left out of it. We'll tell you the demand Democrats laid out today.
Winds are starting to calm down as we go into our evening and overnight hours. We're going to see a warm-up as we head towards our Easter weekend, and rain will hold off until the start of next week. I'll track that out in my full forecast.
Peripheral artery disease was starving the blood flow to Julie's foot. Other facilities said that she'd probably wind up with a leg amputation. But the doctors and nurses at Boone Hospital Wound Healing Center wouldn't give up. They're working to save her leg and her quality of life with hyperbaric oxygen.
A sore that won't heal may require expert wound care. Contact Boone Hospital Wound Healing Center.
Thanks to Boone Hospital Wound Center, she's walking on the leg today.
Boone Hospital Wound Healing Center.
The KOMU8 iPhone and Android News app is brought to you by University Subaru. Download yours today.
Introducing the all-new Chevy Silverado. It's the official truck of calloused hands. The official truck of getting to work and getting to work. It's the official truck of homecoming and coming home. The all-new Chevy Silverado.
Chevy Truck Month continues with 0% financing for 72 months on this all-new Silverado. Or this deal gets stronger. Current competitive owners get a total value of over $9,500 when financing with GM Financial.
The fourth annual Unbound Book Festival kicked off today. Visitors from all over the country came to Columbia to talk books. The three-day festival features nearly 56 authors and poets. It brings authors and readers together for various conversations.
Anybody can pick up a book and read the book. We're trying to add to that experience by allowing people to sort of ask questions and sort of get inside the author's minds a little bit and say, when you wrote that, what were you thinking? About that kind of thing.
The festival brought traffic to downtown bookshops. Store owners report increased sales of books written by keynote speakers.
Daniel Boone Regional Library is getting a $20,000 grant from the Secretary of State. The library will put the money toward its early childhood literacy program. The program teaches kids about language through music and movement. A library manager says music can give kids an extra push to learn.
If you just say the word Mary had a little lamb, if you say that phrase, it doesn't break down the words as much as if you sing it. Mary had a little lamb. So it's got the beautiful ability, music, to teach kids the different parts of words so they can play with and have a lot of fun.
The program will start in the fall.
The Columbia School Board approved teacher raises for the next school year. Members said yes to a 4.5% increase during a work session yesterday. The plan also includes raising salaries for first-year teachers. The district says raises have been in the works for many years and include full benefits.
You never want to adversely affect an employee's salary, and so we have to be very thoughtful about how we implement those changes over time. But we were very pleased that the Board of Education approved an increase in compensation for all of our employees.
The Columbia, Missouri National Education Association worked closely with the board on the raises.
With the redacted Mueller report released, there's a fight still going on in Washington. House Democrats are issuing subpoenas for Special Counsel Robert Mueller's full Russia report without redactions. The Justice Department calls the subpoena a premature and unnecessary report. In the report, Mueller did not accuse President Trump of criminal wrongdoing. The report details the president's repeated attempts to block the investigation.
We certainly need to continue the investigative work to determine, are there other ways this president is compromised, or are there other offenses that rise to the level of removal from office?
Democrats say they want every piece of evidence from Mueller's nearly 2 years on the job. Democrats have set a deadline of May 1st. Tomorrow marks 20 years since the fatal shooting at Columbine High School. A pair of students opened fire there. Teachers and students remember that horrible day years later. Victims' families say they now hurt every time they hear about recent school shootings. Survivors are continuing to pay tribute to those who died that day.
A line of violent storms caused possible tornadoes today. This continues a wild week of weather across the southern U.S. This video shows where powerful winds toppled trees and power lines in North and South Carolina. The storms caused a number of injuries and at least one death. The storms are moving east and are expected to continue to cause problems tonight.
We started the day with a good amount of cloud cover. We're taking a look at our time lapse over Jefferson City of today, where we saw a bunch of cumulus clouds in the sky. Those were the backside of the storm that moved through Wednesday night into Thursday, and that's what was bringing those northerly winds, keeping us cool as we went throughout the day. It only got up to 62 degrees today, but I have good news in store for you. We will be warming up. Right now, our winds are out of the northwest at 9 miles an hour, and that's going to make a shift as we go into Saturday and into Sunday as well, to bring some warmth back into the area and warm us back up. We're currently sitting in the mid to low 50s for most of us. People who saw a little bit more sunshine throughout the day are hanging on to those temperatures a little bit harder, but we're going to fall continuously as we go towards our overnight low for tonight. But the rest of the country is experiencing a major shift from temperatures as well. If we look over at the East Coast here, they are still feeling the colder temperatures from that system that just pushed through our area, but out to the west they're much warmer, so that's what we have to look forward to as we go towards the weekend. This is a system of what remains from Wednesday night into Thursday. That system's moving off to the east and even dropping a little bit of snow down in Tennessee, so let's be glad that we aren't in Tennessee right now, but that's going to continue to push off to the east, and our next focus is going to be this system pushing off the coast of the Pacific, and that's going to be our next thing that we see push into our area. That's not going to cause much rain for our viewing area, not as of now at least, but as we zoom in, we can see that we will see a bit of cloud cover from the trailing end of that system as it starts to move across the north part of the continental United States. That'll just bring some cloud cover as we go into Easter evening on Sunday, but we shouldn't see any rain from that system as it completes its track through the rest of the United States. We're staying clear tonight, though, 39 as our low. It'll be a pretty cool night because our average around this time is about 45 degrees. And that's because of that wind that's going to be coming out of the north. That's going to keep us a little cool as we go throughout the day, or throughout the evening, rather, and as we start into the rest of the weekend. We will start to warm up, though. That wind will make a shift for Easter. Saturday, we're in the 70s, and we're going to be seeing lots and lots of sunshine for Saturday, so that'd be a great day to have an Easter egg hunt or just to celebrate in general. For Easter Sunday, we will be in the 80s. Last year on Easter, we were snowing, so this is a huge change from last year. We'll see mostly sunny skies. As we head towards the evening hours, some clouds might start to creep in, but nothing that's going to bring any rain along with it. For your 3-day forecast, we are dry for the weekend, but as we start to head into Monday, we're going to see some more chances of rain push in, and that's going to continue till the latter end of next week. We will still be staying mainly in the 70s, 68 as a low on Wednesday, but as we work up to next weekend, we will be back in the 70s and seeing some sunshine.
Jenna, thank you very much. One of Mizzou's top players going to the big leagues. Maybe. Details on Jonte Porter's announcement coming up.
Low on cash and credit? Turn down for a car loan? Get to JD Byrider for easy approval, affordable payments, and you can spin the wheel to see how much you save. $100, $200, maybe as much as $500. And every vehicle's road ready now and backed by a 3-year, 36,000-mile, zero-deductible limited warranty. Start your approval process online at gojdb.com. Give us some preliminary info, and we'll set your appointment and be ready for you. Then spin to win when you get here and take your new ride out for a spin.
Is neuropathy ruining your quality of life? Can you not do the simple things you enjoy because of the constant pain, numbness, tingling, burning, or that pins and needles feeling in your arms or legs? Is it made worse by the side effects of all the medications you're taking? Drowsiness, dizziness, sleeplessness, weight gain, or constipation? If so, then pick up the phone and call Lord X Spine Center to learn more about a new treatment that many are calling the first major breakthrough for effectively treating neuropathy in years. This non-surgical therapy uses an innovative process to target the affected areas of the body and, over time, helps the nerves to heal. No more heavy doses of stomach-upsetting medications. Early diagnosis and treatment can offer the best chance of controlling your symptoms and preventing further nerve damage. Don't let this crippling condition control your life any longer. Call Lord X Spine Center today and find out if this neuropathy treatment is right for you. It could be the treatment that gives you back the quality of life you've been missing for so long.
Now, from the Ford Sports Desk, KOMU8 Sports.
Jonte Porter announced on Twitter that he has officially declared for the 2019 NBA Draft. In his tweet, he thanked his coaches, teammates, and family for helping him get to this point. He could become the Tigers' 46th player selected in the NBA Draft in the program's history. According to ESPN and Draft Express, Porter is rated as the 42nd best prospect in the draft and is projected as a mid-second round pick. During his freshman year, Porter earned many honors like the 2017-2018 SEC All-Freshman team. Porter did miss the entire 2018-2019 season because of a torn ACL. In Mizzou football news, Texas native and backup defensive back Terry Petrie announced his transfer from the Tigers. Petrie says he wants to be closer to his family. He played in 8 games this season as a redshirt freshman and had 5 total tackles and a forced fumble. He was a 3-star recruit coming out of high school and was the 42nd defensive back in the 2017 class. Mizzou baseball is down in Athens, Georgia this weekend to take on Georgia. The Tigers lost Game 1 of the series last night to the 6th-ranked Bulldogs 3-0. The Tigers have moved Art Joven to the weekend rotation in Tyler LaPlante's absence. The Bulldogs started out hot in the first inning, scoring 4, but the Tigers picked it up in the second, scoring 2. The Tigers trail 5-2 in the top of the 9th. On the softball side, Mizzou takes on Texas A&M in the second game of their 3-game set. Last night, the Tigers won a tight one, 4-3. Tonight, they blew out the Aggies 8-0. The offense leaders were sophomore Kara Decker, who had 2 RBIs, and sophomore Hattie Moore had 1 RBI. The Tigers had 3 runs in the first inning and 5 in the second. We'll have those highlights at 10. Now over to the professional side. We start with the St. Louis Cardinals hosting the New York Mets. Adam Wainwright gets the start for Mike Schultz. The offense has been hot for the Birds. They're averaging over 6.5 runs per game in their last 7 games. but the Mets have kept them quiet so far. Mets scored early and are up 4-1 in the top of the 6th. The Royals are in action back east, taking on the Yankees tonight. After scoring 6 unanswered to win 6-1 last night, the Royals will try and take Game 2 and guarantee at least a split of the 4-game series. Both the Mets and the Royals were scoreless in the first 2 innings, but the Mets scored 2 in the 3rd and the 6th. Those runs brought the momentum, and the Mets won 6-2. New baseball is in Mexico, Missouri this spring. KMU8's Ethan Burks has a story of the program, but we'll give you a sneak peek. Take a look.
For over 130 years, we've been molding young men into the best leaders that they can possibly be, and baseball is now the latest avenue for us to be able to do that.
A little bit nervous, kind of the idea of, it's coming from, hasn't been here in 5 years, to really stepping it up to, starting this new team.
Ethan Burke's story will air on Sunday during Sports Extra with Chris Gervino. And that's it for sports.
What's the one constant in life? Change. Hi, I'm Doug Wallace with All Weather. What hasn't changed in 25 years is our belief customers deserve competitive upfront pricing, the ability to approve work before it begins, and access to a real technician that's licensed and highly skilled, not a salesperson disguised that way. No matter your issue, plumbing, heating, or cooling, we're there to solve it expertly, on time and on budget. Next time, call All Weather. We fix stuff. No surprises here.
It can haul over 3,200 pounds. It can even tow more than any pickup in its class. And it practically parks itself. Now, after all that hard work, a nice night on the town seems in order, don't you think?
Now get an F-150 at up to 20% below MSRP. That's over $10,500 in total savings. Only at your quality Ford dealers.
We have a big warm-up in store as we go from our overnight low of about 39 degrees to our high temperature tomorrow of 71 degrees. We'll see lots of sunshine and we'll continue warming into Sunday, and it's going to feel more like summertime. That Easter Bunny is going to have a hard time with all that melted chocolate on his hands.
Okay, take a look at this video. These are tulip fields in the Netherlands. Farmers are worried about a growing problem, and that is visitors taking selfies. I could see where that would be a problem. More than 1 million tourists are expected for the Easter weekend. A tulip producer is even taking the lead and encouraging visitors to walk in the fields without killing the flowers. That would be a really good idea.
Yeah.
I mean, if I spent all the time and money...
Would you take a selfie in the tulip field?
I'm not going to take a selfie in the tulip field.
I don't know. All the colors.
On air, online, on Facebook, on Twitter, on the News app, and the Weather app. KOMU 8 News. Coverage you can count on.
Selfless